currency. A tight t-shirt wrapped around my porn star tits. A good currency for mediocre sex. A good currency for free pink gins and lemonades. A good currency for likes on social media. Short skirts, fishnets, appetising. My thighs are every man's wet dream, even if I don't want them to be. Fluffy blankets, fairy lights, rainy days, all fit perfectly together for a one-night stand, which turns into the weekend. Warm hugs and deep conversations, laughing till I can't breathe, pretending that I know what it feels like to be loved fully and not just desired. This is not to say that all men are hungry. It's not even to say that all men are hunting. But haven't we all found the bones of a woman stuck like leftovers between a full man's teeth? You call this rape culture, darling. I call it good fucking morning.
Some women know what it's like to be called uptight, to be short of patience, to be short of temper, to wait until he realizes, to wait until they help, to wait until he stops, to be half-strangled by your own self-doubt, to talk without being heard, to talk without being understood, to wish for more courage, to wish for respect, to be a mean to boost their ego, to be a mean to show they can, to be a victim no one takes serious, to be voiceless, to be an object, to be slapped on your ass and grown by your boobs, to be worthless, and most men don't.
Some people know what it is like. Some people know what it is like to have a faith, to attend a church that doesn't have an organ, to mention Jesus and face rejection, to tell people about your beliefs and be shut down mid-sentence, to be called upon in religious studies. Hey, you must know why bad things happen to good people. To be short of answers to the big questions. To not know why there are people who suffer more than others. To wait for answers. To know that you're not in control of your future. To believe that heaven and hell are real. To be made to feel like you're crazy. To not be taken seriously. To be told that you believe in an invisible God. To believe in God. To be told that there is no God. To suffer at the hands of injustice. To be blamed for injustice. To be told that your faith is a crutch for the weak. To long for acceptance from others. To be different. To hide your faith to make your life easier. To be saved. To be treasured. To be asked repeatedly if you've had sex yet. To be told that being a virgin isn't cool. To know that you can't date any boy that you want. To truly love God. And other people don't.
Never have I ever been stopped by airport security, faced a disadvantage in a job interview, had abuse shouted at me in the street, been paid less than a colleague in the same position, been criticised for my religious beliefs, been asked, where are you really from? Been unable to afford food. Had my race unnecessarily brought up as a descriptor. Bled from my genitals. Well, it's at that one time in life. Had the church made me feel ashamed of who I am. Been told that I should smile more. Been told that I'm just going through a phase. Been told to go back where I came from. Felt trapped in my own body, been profiled and targeted by the police, been sexually harassed by a man twice my age, to say no more than once, to be called slut or bender, feared for my life on my walk home. Never have I ever had to fight for my basic human rights. And some people have. Some people do.
Some students know what it's like to be shafted by the government, to be blamed for following advice, to be forced into classrooms at 30 with next to no social distancing measures in place, to be told to go back to work, to then be blamed for rising cases, to wait in student accommodation after being locked in, to be treated like animals, to be told universities will still be making you pay the full £9,000, to be told that you can't use half the facilities anymore, to be told to stop moaning, to be forced to stay away from family at Christmas, to have your support network ripped away from you, to be made redundant from your silly little weekend job, to be short cash. Sorry, I barely have enough money to pay for rent this month, let alone food. To be informed classes beyond mine. Sorry, I can't come to class today, I can't afford to pay my Wi-Fi bill. To be ignored, to be blamed, to be overlooked, to be targeted, to be made to feel that the demise of the entire country is your fault, and the middle-aged white men representing everyone else don't.
This is some women. Some women know what it's like to be called a slut, a bore, or whore, to be scared alone on an unlit street, to be scared with keys for claws, to be scared of showing too much or too little, to be asked, are you on your period, to be berated for wanting control over our own bodies, to be called predictable for doing a feminist poem, to be called opinionated when men aren't, to not be able to say no, to be scared, to be alone, to have a uterus but not be allowed an opinion, to not be a man, and the middle-aged, straight, white men don't.